Today is shrimp versus green bean V2 and it's coming right up. But before we get started, please, if you're new to my channel and you want to see tons and tons of shrimp content, then please hit that subscribe button, bell notification and like the video so you never ever miss another thing I post. Lucy, Lucy, are we going to make a video? Where's your tail going? Are you happy, puppy? Are you happy, girl? Oh, you're so beautiful. But why green beans, you might ask, right? But I just want to explain the V2 part of the title as well. That is because when I first did my first shrimp versus green bean video, I didn't actually cut them in half, right? And I think that was a mistake because it gave a false impression of green beans not being very appetizing for shrimp and snails, etc. When in fact, it really is. It's really an awesome food, right? So today we're going to do the retake of that video, and it's going to be shrimp versus green bean. And Lucy thinks I'm talking to her. What are you doing down there, puppy? Right, so we're going to do that video today, coming right up. So I buy my green beans in packages like this from the local supermarket, right? And this is what it looks like when you open it. Pretty hard green beans. You could break these. These are snap frozen. I've actually had this bag out here a little while. That's why it bent a little bit there, but normally they just snap quite easily, right? So I like to cut off the lid of these, give it a few twists, and then guys, for storing, I just use like the same method that we use for shrimp. Rubber band around the top. You can do this whatever way you like this. How easy. Mark, you're something. Your brain is like a huge elephant's face thing. Okay, so I store it like this. This all goes back in the freezer. I buy these, at least one of these bags a week, because I use it so much. And I don't just use it for the shrimp, guys. I use it for my snails as well, right? So let me just get a little strainer here. I'm going to strain all these lovely green beans out. And this is the big difference compared to what I did the last time and the first video compared to this time, right? And the difference is this, guys, right? I'm going to split the bean, and that is it. Because these beans, they have, it's almost like a skin on them that I don't think the snails and the shrimp like, right? But once you open it, they will absolutely destroy everything on the inside, right? So I normally use about half a green bean per large tank a day. Right, so with green beans and stuff like this, I don't think it matters too much if you leave this in the tank. It doesn't seem to affect the water quality very much. Hope you can see, you're not looking just at my leg. It doesn't seem to affect the water quality very much, and it's good, really good for the shrimp and the snails. Right? There'll be calcium and all different kinds of minerals in here, right? So that one's a little bit big. Right, and I'm going to do this for all of these guys. And then we're going to put them in the tank. And it's important that you thaw these out thoroughly, because if you don't, they'll just float. Alright, so make sure you split your green beans. Get them all open like this. And I have used the other green beans as well, the canned type. And here in Norway, I've only ever found the salted version. And I have tried to get the salt out of them. There's a way you could do it, kind of with soaking the salted beans in RO water overnight. So I tried this, and the next day I actually tasted it myself just to see if there was any salt in it, and there was still salt in the green beans, right? So I don't recommend you use salted cans of green beans, because there would just simply be too much salt in it. There's lots and lots of sodium in this kind of thing, right? So we're going to do a few more here, and then we're going to go over to the tanks and we're going to put them in. Right, so let's see, how does it taste? You know what's very interesting as well, guys, is I myself don't particularly like green beans, but I did notice with this canned salted ones, the taste was very different, and it was actually really nice. Even though they were heavily salted, it was really nice. Let me just fix this one here a wee bit more. Alright, so what I want you guys to do is in the comment section below, let me know if you use green beans and how do you prepare them. A few more, and then we'll be done. And the great thing about green beans as well, right, especially when you get them like this, if you get them canned without salt, they're really easy to store. Really easy to store. And frozen, they're just as easy to store as well. Right? The only thing I would say frozen has over canned stuff is that the frozen stuff will be fresher. I'd noticed that the frozen stuff is much greener, which is good, right? So this is what we want. Now this looks a little bit like overkill, but I have tanks full of snails as well, so in excess will be going there, right? So let me just quickly put these back in here and we can use this as a little holding dishy thing. Right, so I'm going to put this in every tank. I have spixie snails, etc. on this tank here. So they will eat a bit like this, no problem in a day, right? You can see I actually have a big bit of cucumber in there as well. This little tank here only has a couple of shrimp, right? But I still want them to get some good food in them. Okay, so let's break a little bit off and you go. Of course this one, it floats. There's probably a little bit of ice still stuck in it. Alright, so we're going to go over the tanks. With a wee bit luck, these guys, they will sink straight away. And they do. If you break them open, it makes it so much easier for the snails and whatever else is in the tank to get to the food, right? So bear that in mind when you're doing this, guys. I'm only going to put a little bit in here because I fed these guys quite heavily yesterday. I don't want them to, I don't want it to pollute the tank. But you'll see this in a second when I go into macro mode, just how much these guys actually like green beans. And it's very different from the video I made before, where the shrimp went on it and then they lost interest. When you split the bean up, in this tank here in the bottom I can put quite a lot in because I have spixie snails, lots and lots of ram's horn snails, and tons of shrimp. There's probably a couple of hundred shrimp in here, easily. I didn't split this one. Yes, I did. It's just the wrong way around. It's just the wrong way around, you see it? So you need to at least expose the soft underbelly of the green bean before you put it in the tank. This one here, you can see the amount of snails in here, so we're going to put in a whole green bean. I'm just going to make sure I always split them as well because as I said, it takes them so much longer if you don't do this. I have blue ram's horn snails in here. You guys probably haven't seen that video yet. We have lots and lots of shrimp in this cull tank here. That's one thing I absolutely hate about the GoPro is once the screen goes off, I can't actually tell what you're looking at. If you're looking here or here or here. Let's put some in the top tank. These top tanks, because there's so many shrimp in it, I'll give them a whole green bean, a whole one. I only have a few bits left. I'm going to put it on my leg, even though I'll probably get my leg wet. And we're just going to split the beans, I think. Split them up. Orange blue tigers, tangerine tigers. I put a little bit in my triops over here. He's doing really well. He's actually been alive for quite some time now, which was quite a surprise with this guy. And we're going to break up this much for my red zebra pintos. And by the way, guys, I've noticed this red zebra pintos in particular, they absolutely love their vegetables. You'll see in here, I have a cucumber in here. The red zebra pintos themselves will destroy the cucumber, right, which is quite unusual considering if I put the cucumber in any other tank raw, the shrimp normally don't touch it. I put some in here, and the little bits there can go into the tanks, right? And what I'll do, guys, is we'll go into macro mode and I'll show you exactly how much these shrimp love green beans, right? And of course, if the green bean isn't open, then it might take longer for them to get on it and destroy it and stuff, right? So we might do this over the course of a day. I'm not worried about leaving this food in the water either, right? So hope you enjoy the rest of the video.